Hi fam, it's Gab here. I hope you're all having an amazing Sunday evening. Surprise! There is a fourth part to my Oils for Travel series because my travel has been extended by 3 days. And I really just wanted to touch base with you guys and give you a little extra info on oils to use when the unexpected occurs. So just to give you a little context, I was in Toronto for the past couple days at a breakdancing convention, woke up at the ass crack of dawn this morning, got organized, got to the airport, and I had a connector flight to get me home. Long story short, they didn't board us on the flight at the hour that we were expecting. And then we missed our connector flight. We finally got to Quebec City where the connector flight is, and there are no flights available to get me home until Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. So, I'm going to go ahead and be real honest and get real dirty and into the gritty shame spiral that happened in that moment, and then just quickly explain how I managed to pull myself out of it again with the help of these incredible oils. So obviously the very first thing that happened was panic, fear, a bunch of things coming up, wanting to know immediately whose fault it was, who could help get through this, or who was going to help make amends for the fact that, our flight wasn't managed well and that the other plane didn't wait for us. And I went into a shame spiral of anger and frustration and fear, which I think is something that's a pretty natural reaction for most people, because travel naturally brings us out of our comfort zone. We're immediately thrown into this ungrounded spiral. There's a little bit of anxiety, there's a little bit of excitement and adrenaline. And especially if you've been traveling for a while, you're underhydrated, under-rested, these kinds of things come up, and immediately I'll speak for myself. An immediate reaction that comes up to me is, why wasn't this better managed? Why isn't this organized? And my kind of reptilian cortex, aggro OCD brain takes over. So all this happened, and I kind of sunk down and actually got into a deep squat, and I realized that no matter how much I held on to this story and this frustration and this anger, nothing was going to change the fact that I had missed my flight, and nothing was going to change the fact that there were absolutely no other flights available for me to get home until Tuesday. So I'm happy to announce that instead of staying in that sort of angry spiral and that kind of, fear and panic, I made a choice, and I said, right now what I can do in this moment is to get grounded, use the tools that I have, and actually manage this in a better way. So the first thing I did was I took out my Peace Touch roller, which, if you guys have not invested or tried the Peace Blend, I can tell you it is absolutely extraordinary. I have it with me at all times. I don't think a day has gone by since I purchased it back in December where I haven't used it at least once in a day, several times. Usually, and today especially, I'm basically bathed in it. So I took my Peace Touch roller and I just drew a heart on my left hand with the Peace Touch roller, and I put both of my palms together, and I took a deep breath in through the nose, and then created a very small hole between my lips, and did a very extended exhale, and really took the time to completely release all of the oxygen and really allow my body to melt into that moment of breath. So I did that 3 times. That was the first thing I did, and immediately there was kind of like this dropping of the anxiety, a dropping down more into my heart chakra, just better able to deal with the situation at hand. Immediately after that happened, something released, something kind of clicked, or it almost felt like there was kind of a turning and a releasing of some energy. Tears came to my eyes, and I did cry silently, calmly, but as opposed to feeling shameful or feeling like I should hide that, I really just sat and I gave it some breath, and I allowed my body to express the frustration and the sadness that I had about the fact that I wouldn't be going home right away. And I just breathed through that. I gave myself a good 4 or 5 minutes, took a deep breath in, got back up, and I did 2 things. I popped a peppermint beadlet, which just kind of refreshed and gave me a wake up. And then I took my Intune touch roller and I put it on both of my temples, and also along the hairline and along the 2 pulse points here. And then I just did a little massage, a breath in. I stood up, and then I took a deep breath and brought my arms up over my head and just kind of shook it down. And, you know, obviously there were people looking at me kind of like, you know, what is this like savage woman doing? And I did 3 big breaths in and kind of shook out that frustration, the last little bits of that kind of embodied anger. And after that, I was grounded. I was able to go back to the help desk. I was able to, hold space and hold myself accountable for the way I had spoken to some of the people who were working, because they did kind of get the brunt of my frustration. I was able to kind of sit in a place of compassion for myself, and also explain to both people that were working that I'm sorry I had expressed my frustration towards them, that I understood that it was really out of everyone's control, and that I had just allowed my kind of fear and adrenaline and an ungrounded chaotic mind to take over. And that was really important for me. I think more than anything else, the fact that I was able to just be accountable for my bad behavior and really, really stand in my power and apologize from an authentic place. I think that was the best part for me in that situation. So that's it. That's my story. I'm happy to say that the universe came through, because there's a huge conference going on in Quebec City right now. So the only room available in Quebec City is in the Chateau Bonne Entente, which is like a 5-star incredible hotel. So I have this like crazy bomb ass suite to myself that's actually being paid for by Air Canada this evening. I'm going to take myself out for an incredible, delicious, super rich date later. And then I'm going to pop some Digest-Zen. I'm going to lie down in this luscious bed, and I'm just going to get some rest. And the last thing I'll say about all this, and this isn't necessarily an oil education or an oil comment, more of just a comment about the work that I think we're all trying to do, is that when we allow ourselves to be caught up in the story that our mind creates about any given situation, when we feed into that, and when we believe that the story is more important or stronger than actually grounding ourselves in our body during a frustrating or scary or overwhelming situation, we give our power away. And by making the conscious choice and by using the tools that I had today with these beautiful oils to come back into my body and to release that story that my mind had made about it being someone's fault and someone having to fix it, and the fact that the situation was unacceptable, by releasing that story, I was able to be accountable for my behavior. I was able to focus and concentrate and find actual productive and creative ways to deal with the situation. And I was also able to hold a place of gratitude in my heart, which in turn turned into this kind of beautiful little like forced mini 2-day vacation in Quebec City. So those are my lessons and takeaways from today. Travel, oils and lessons for travel. Part 4, unexpected, but you know what? Oils for travel are oils for life, because that's what we're doing, right? We're traveling through this journey every day and just doing the best we can. And these incredible tools have just, in such a short amount of time, have become absolutely just I can't live without them. They're incontournable is the word that I would say. Every single day they teach me something new about holding space for myself and holding space for others and learning to let go of story and really ground myself in the beauty of every moment. So that's all for now. I'm going to throw on their super fancy house coat and hydrate and watch some TV. And I'm sending you all so much love. So I will be on listening to Office Hours, if there is one, tomorrow morning from my fancy 5-star hotel room. And I can't wait to get home and connect with some of you that I haven't had a chance to talk to in the past week. And I hope you all have a blessed and amazing start to your week tomorrow morning. Okay? Love you all. Bye.